Alright there guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about pink news. What is pink news? Well, it is the UK's #1 LGBT digital media publishing site. That's what it is. And in this video I'm going to talk about why I don't like pink news, as I feel that pink news is not helpful towards the LGBT community. It's actually the complete opposite, and it furthers reasons for the LGBT community to be disliked as a whole. And I have 3 main reasons for why I dislike them, and that's what I'm going to get through in this video. So let's get into straight away to the first reason. Pink news will post things on social media as labeled as news when it's really not news. I'll give you a few examples. Example number 1. Well, this is a recent one. Sam Smith, the gay non-binary singer, not wanting to come back to Europe because of the coronavirus. That's not really news, as nobody wants to travel because of the coronavirus. Like, this is not exclusive to Sam Smith. This affects everybody, not just one person. But pink news post it as if it's some really big new LGBT news story, when it's just because one person that happens to be part of this community doesn't want to return to Europe because of something that is worldwide news, not just exclusive news to one person. The second example is a gay penguin couple stole some eggs of another penguin couple to have their own babies. Why that is actually news at all, I don't know. Like, do pink news realise the word news is in their name, so they should actually post news, not just any random thing that's really just not news at all. Not only that though, not only were they reporting on a gay penguin couple stealing eggs from a straight penguin couple so they could have their own babies, not only that, but they're also encouraging stealing. They're saying that this gay penguin couple stealing eggs is a good thing. We've got the straight penguin couple who created those eggs, and the gay penguin couple just stealing them. Like, you should not be encouraging stealing. And that's the first reason why I dislike pink news. Reason number 2. Well, actually, before we get into reason number 2, I just want to make a quick note that pink news are the most anti-straight part of the LGBT community that I've ever seen. Pink news will literally slander straight people for such minor things that aren't an inconvenience to the LGBT community whatsoever. But they just despise straight people so much that they always need to have something bad to say about them. If you look through their posts or on their website, you'll probably find something about how a straight person got put in their place or something like that for something when the straight person is actually the victim, but Pink News are trying to turn the situation around to make the straight person in this situation sound like the oppressor when they're actually the victim. But now onto the actual second reason for why I dislike Pink News is they post fake news. More specifically, this thing said this right. The best example is Jupiter said trans rights. No, it didn't. Jupiter is a planet. It can't speak or relay any sort of message at all. Somebody shined a very special and specific sort of light onto Jupiter to make it the colours of the trans flag. So no, you're making Jupiter look like it's saying trans rights, but it's not. It's just fake news. Seriously, I don't understand why they post this thing said trans rights and this thing said gay rights. But also, they literally do it so much. Like, the Jupiter thing is fake news, and the problem with the one saying this person said gay rights is they literally look for anybody that says this. Like that, they don't, that's all, they post so many things that are very, very similar. This person said gay rights, that person said gay rights. It's like there's no originality. They're just the same boring posts. And bearing in mind, the LGBT community is not even oppressed in the UK, which is the part of the world this new Pink News is based. They're based in the UK. And the LGBT are not oppressed in the UK, as this year gay marriage was legalised in Northern Ireland this year, meaning every single part of the UK, straight and LGBT, non-LGBT people and LGBT people have all the same rights. LGBT people no longer have any more rights than people in the LGBT community. So, I don't see why they have to post things in either that are about this country, or the UK in general, or the US in America, when the LGBT are not oppressed in either part of the world, in either parts of the world there. Now, I can understand them posting news about countries where being LGBT is illegal. That I can understand, but if they should post more news that relates to people who are actually oppressed in this community, not just anywhere in the world, where they might actually have all the same legal rights as anyone else and are not oppressed anymore. But no, they still have to post either irrelevant news or fake news. And that is the second reason of why I dislike Pink News. Now, the third and final reason I dislike Pink News is they think they think that they speak on the behalf of everybody in the LGBT community. I mean, you guys know, well, hopefully you know, that I came out as bisexual earlier this year. I made a video on it just over a month ago, and I came out on Twitter just over a week before that. So yeah, I am part of the LGBT community after I came out as bisexual. Anyway, we have posts that Pink News make on their Instagram predominantly that are the problem. We have certain posts that are completely fine, such as bisexual men exist. Now, some people would say, well, of course they do, why would you post that? But I can understand why they're posting that. They probably posted that because the majority of the people who are bisexual are female, or at least that's what it looks like. It always seems that there's way more bisexual females than males in the LGBT community. It's always been like that for me. That's what I've always seen. I mean, the only other bisexual male person that I even know is Che. In fact, he's not entirely sure whether he's bi or pan. He's not quite sure which one he is. But yeah, he's one or the other. And I'm just bisexual. But there are certain other posts that Pink News post. But before I get into that, I just remembered the anti-straight agenda that they've posted, that they have. Very recently, they posted a little like story where a straight person says, "I support the LGBT, but why are they so loud? We never go on about our identity. They always go on about their identity, and we never do." Then the next page says stuff such as another heterosexual love story. Okay, first of all, a love story between straight people is not pushing their sexuality on the LGBT, because heterosexual relationships will always create life, and it will always create more life than any LGBT relationships can, because since the dawn of time, heterosexual relationships are how life has been created, with reproducing. And an incredibly large percentage of heterosexual relationships can create life. Not everybody that's straight can create new life, whether that's something that's not quite right with their body that prevents them from creating new life, but that's one of them. Another one is Not Gay the movie. When has there ever, maybe I'm wrong about this, but when has there ever been an anti-gay movie? A movie that specifically attacks gay people? Maybe there is one that I just don't know of, but I've never seen or even heard of a movie that specifically attacks gay people for no reason, or even at all. We have the fact that straight people are able to kiss in public and not have to worry about possibly having somebody say something horrible to them or even hit them. Okay, I kind of understand that. You are more likely to be abused if you are if a homosexual kiss happens in public. But heterosexual kisses in public do also get slammed, with people saying, "Get a room." That's the most common straight. That's the most common comments that people say to straight people that kiss in public. Get a room. So they're not completely safe from it either. They're just safer than homosexual people doing it. But Pink News really do have a massively anti-straight agenda. Instead of having an anti-LGBT agenda, they have the opposite. They have an anti-non-LGBT agenda, where if you don't publicly talk about being an ally to the LGBT community, if you're not part of it yourself, then they're just going to disregard anything you say. But finally, let's get back to the third and final reason why I dislike Pink News. We've already had the bisexual men exist thing, because the bisexual community is probably made up of predominantly females and not many males. Because that's just I'm pretty sure there'll be more gay men than bi men in the world. But one of the other posts that shows that Pink News think they speak on the behalf of everybody in the LGBT community is a post they made that said things that you should not say to bisexual men. Okay? And one of them is, aren't you just gay? Which, okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't ask that one. That's fine. But the one I don't like is, which one do you prefer? Pink News are basically saying all bisexual men don't want to answer the question, do you prefer men or women? Now, in my opinion, that is a completely acceptable and valid question to ask. At least to me it is. Like, if anyone wants to ask me, do I prefer males or females when it comes to dating, my answer is females. I still prefer females over males. But I am still bisexual, not straight or gay. Why do Pink News think they speak on the behalf of all of us when they don't? I mean, I don't really want to get into politics, but Pink News were a big supporter of Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the Labour Party in the UK, and they lost by an absolute landslide in the UK election last year in December, losing by over 3 million votes, making it their worst loss in an election since 1935. That's before World War II started. That's how long ago it was. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been since Labour had a defeat in the election this embarrassingly bad. So it shows that Pink News don't like supporting winners. They probably label every conservative as homophobic, transphobic, and there aren't people in the LGBT who are conservatives. Well, there probably are. I mean, even though this isn't in the UK, a good example is Caitlyn Jenner in America, who is of course a trans woman, she went from Bruce to Caitlyn, and she even said in America it's harder to come out as conservative than it is gay. But that's enough for politics. I don't really want to get into it anymore. And one thing I want to say to end off this video is, why is there such a stigma against well, there might not be, it might just be me, but why I feel there's such a huge stigma for bisexual people, where if you don't date someone of the same sex, you're not bi. I mean, I don't know if I'm even right, if that even is a thing, but I feel like it is. How people won't believe you're bisexual unless you date somebody of the same sex. That's like somebody saying to me, I would have to go out with another guy in order to prove I'm bisexual. Even though you can date somebody of the opposite sex and still be bisexual. That doesn't change. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys know who Pink News are and you've seen their posts, tell me what you think of them. Do you like them, or do you dislike them like me? But that is the end of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, follow me on my social medias, and until next time guys, catch you later.